So welcome to the session, everybody. Looking forward to the weekly Forex outlook and reviews. I'm going to be taking a look at 10 pairs today. So pound USD, Euro USD, USD JPY, Euro Yen, Euro Pound, USD CAD, Aussie Dollar USD, Pound Yen, New Zealand Dollar USD, and Euro New Zealand Dollar. So Euro New Zealand Dollar snuck in there somehow. And we'll take a look at that and see how that is actually moving, because that will be very interesting. We don't really trade or talk much about the New Zealand dollar pairs, so that would be very fun. We're going to have 10 members coming forward and analyze the 10 pairs for us. Hopefully we get the 10. I know we've got definitely 7 or 8 right now, so it'll be very interesting to hear your perspective, and then I'll just guide you along. We'll give you my thought process, and then we'll ask the community as well what they think of your analysis. So whoever would like to come forward first, just unmute yourself and let's just go from there. Who we taking?
Hey, Rox.
What's happening, Glenn? How you doing? Oh, wait, you know what, Glenn? Shabam did ask.
Right, man. How you doing?
Shabam did ask to do GU, and only because he asked, let's just let's honor that. So if we can take Shabam, then Glenn next, that would be great, and then move on from there. Okay. Shabam.
Yes, how's it going, man?
I'm good, bro. You all right?
Yeah.
Very good.
So
Okay.
can we start?
Yeah, please do. And if you get the annotations up and you can draw on the screens, that would be fantastic.
Okay. So the first things I'm going to look for the key levels. We see the very strong where the prices start rejecting. We have 1 tap, 2 tap, and price start rejecting from the 3 tap, right? So if we see the structure level, the market is the bullish from from this area, and we see the small pullback, like small level where the price created, and then price again came back to the strong level, and I see the price break this previous structure level, indicates me the bearish pressure. Just because the price break this structure, that doesn't give me any selling confirmation. I need any selling potential, evidence. I need a confirmation. The confirmation might be price pullback to the major level, and then in lower time frame, I need a shifting of bearish momentum. So I can see there the prices started rejecting. That can be potential of selling opportunity, but I need to wait some time after the market opens and see how the price going to react in this area. We can potentially see a lot of fake out from this area because price at the key levels, and at the moment I'm looking for sell. The reason is because the price break the structure level, pull back to the major level. We can see the strong area where the price start rejecting, and I'm potentially looking for selling opportunity, right? So this might be my area. But if the price break this structure high, that just indicates me the indication of bullish pressure. I'm looking for the pullback and price hold this area for some period of time and then look for buy. Just looking for that.
Oof. Shabam, that was pretty epic, bro. I love that. Very clear, concise.
Thanks.
You have your plans. You know what you're looking for. Makes a ton of sense. Wow. Now, what I want to understand clearly from you, because everything else makes perfect sense, you're looking for potential sells because all the evidence and confirmation is starting to build up, and you're starting to see the bigger picture with price failing to break structure. You identify a previous break of the previous higher low that never broke and made the new high. So we're starting to see a behavioral change here with price struggling at this key level. What would be your confirmation of sales? Would you be happy to sell from this resistance level, this key level here in the market, or are you waiting for more structure to form?
So I can see the clear confirmation. The price is started rejecting, right? But when the market open, we can see the potential gap. So I'm just looking for, and maybe in 4-hour time frame, bearish momentum from this side, and in lower time frame, I'm looking for the pullback and then look for potential selling opportunity.
Okay, fine. So you're going to be using a scaling down method, using your lower time frames to then take advantage of the potential sells that will start to kick in once the momentum has shown itself.
Yes.
What advice would you give to somebody trading higher time frames? What would you like to see form to take a trade from a higher time frame perspective, not a scaling down perspective then?
I think they can potentially sell, but I need the shifting of bearish momentum. The price is still rejecting, but I can notice this price is struggling to break the little structure. If I go to the lower time frame, I just looking for to break off this structure level.
Beautiful.
I don't know. Can
Okay. So I think your analysis is absolutely spot on. And I think, man, you've done incredibly well. I love how clearly defined your plan is and you know what you're looking for. So the way I would analyze this is identical to you. We can see price has been failing to break above this previous structural high. The previous higher low was put in, but the higher high never was made, indicating that this is a strong key level. Price then made a new low in the market, came back to that low, and has struggled to break above that for a very long period of time. The next thing we can see then from the structure is a structural high, potential lower high that is then pulled back to a key level that could then create the reversal. I think it's very early to say that we're reversing because obviously we can't discount the fact that this is very bullish. The structure is very bullish, but we can start to gather that there is new signs of price potentially failing to continue up. What I would say from a higher time frame perspective, if you're planning to look for sales on this market, remember this analysis is only for about 24 hours. We'll obviously reanalyze this on Tuesday morning. But for high time frame traders, I would say you want to see another low taken out to start the new structural high, lower high, potential double top, and then break retest of this structure and continuation. I think that's a great plan for higher time frame traders. And those for scaling down, you want to find areas where price is failing to break, creating structural levels on the lower time frame, i.e. here on the hourly. And then you'll have this range once this price is broken back down to the major structural low of 40 pips, which is ample amount of range to trade. And then you'll be looking for the momentum shifts, the pullbacks, and the continuations. So I think that is the plan with GU for the next 24 to 48 hours. I think Shabam done an absolutely epic job. And I just want to ask the chat, do you agree with the higher time frame plan and the scaling down plan? Looks like everybody agrees, bro. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's take a look at the next pair, please. And this is Euro USD, who's coming forward for Euro USD.
Good morning. I would like to.
Charlie, let's go, buddy.
All right.
If you want to talk up a bit, please, Charlie.
Okay, no problem. What I'm seeing, just quickly reading from left to right.
You will annotate, right?
Yeah, I'll annotate. Just quickly, this was a level that couldn't be broken. So you're seeing some kind of signs of reversal. You had a break of this level here. And I would have expected earlier for price to retest here and then fall back. However, it didn't, right? And it broke back inside here and retested this level here again, creating some structural level. I'm kind of thinking that it may end in a range, but if I draw my brick walls, I could draw one here, which means that for clear confirmation, I need to see a break above here and a retest, or I need to see a break below here and a retest, because what I'm thinking might actually happen is that this might end up to be a range happening, a really big range though, but nevertheless, ranging between these two values. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else? Yeah.
Okay, so fine. So now you have your plan. You have your plans. I need you to define this because on Monday going into the trading session, you want a clear, defined plan. So you've spoken your thoughts out loud. We now need a defined plan, please, and your key levels that you're working with.
Okay, only one plan.
I want your thought process on what you want to happen on Monday in order to trade this.
Okay. What I want to see, a break below and a retest. To be a little clearer, I might check the other pairs to see which currency is stronger, so I can have a better idea of if it may go down or go up.
Okay, considering we just analyzed GU
because this line has been broken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and GU was going. He said he was looking for it to go down, right? Because he was which means that U is strong. So US dollar is strong. So go down. A break below and a retest here of this level.
Beautiful. Okay. So let's ask the chat. What do you think of this plan for Euro USD? And Charlie, what I really like is you had many thoughts about it. You spoke them out. You know, you understanding what the structure was doing, the behavior was doing, and then you've defined your plan, which is really, really good. So let me give you my thought process on this. Same as GU, we can see the market has been trending up for a very long period of time. We have a major structural high or low here that made the previous high. Now, in terms of key levels, we cannot discount that this right here is a very strong level in the market simply because prices come back to that level. When price fails to break a level twice and fails to break a high twice, or two levels twice, above and below or below and above, we start to enter a range. Now, based on structure, it would make sense that if we've put in a previous higher low and we haven't made the new higher high, that there's a chance that the bullish sentiment is probably, phasing out. And with the break of previous lows and price respecting major key levels, there's a chance we could be entering a reversal. What we don't want to obviously say to ourselves at this stage is that we're going to be 100% looking for sells. What we need is a bit more concrete evidence. Now that we have entered a range because of the tap at the top and the taps at the bottom, we then want to see price do exactly what you said. From a higher time frame perspective, we want to see price break structural retest and then continue down. And if we do break this structural low, then we'll be looking for targets down here, right? This is what makes sense. But if price doesn't break the structural low, we still enter or remain in this range. So as of Monday, this is what we're looking for. And that will definitely be the case for 24 hours until Tuesday when we can reanalyze. If the market, of course, continues up, then we're not going to be looking for buys. So we won't lose any trades because we're not buying or selling because we're only waiting for one plan. So we'll be able to reevaluate if it does continue up. That's not the issue here. Now, the second question here is this, or plan here is this. Do we have a scaling down opportunity? Well, we do have a very major key level here in the market where price is held for at least 12, or we could even say 16 hours. So when we scale down to our hourly time frame, we can see that this level is very, very strong. If price on a lower time frame scaling down decides to start breaking these structures, we can start using this as a range to trade back down to some of these major areas here. This is where our targets will be. So then if we take a trade or we see the momentum shifts or the patterns that we trade, we have at least a 30 pip range to be working with, which is absolutely more than enough to get a 3 pip or even Euro USD, a 2 pip stop loss and really destroy this markets. So I think that will be the plan with Euro USD. I think you've done an absolute amazing job, Charlie. And I really like the fact that you gathered your thoughts, you brought them together and you defined your plan. So looking forward to seeing what happens on Monday. And of course, we'll be back Tuesday for a revaluation. Everybody else agree with this one?
Quick question, Rox. I know on the minute time frame or 5 minute time frame, you might get in like 2-3 trades.
We're going to take questions at the end, Charlie. We're going to take questions at the end.
Okay.
But now we just want to analyze the pairs, okay?
All right, thanks.
Just hold that question. All right, fantastic. Well done. So just want to go to the chat. Shaz says, would you see a triple top formation? Well, this is the thing, right? If it was Wednesday or Thursday and this triple top started to form and we had scaling down opportunities, let's say 15-minute time frame, and we started to see that price was creating an uptrend, started to change the uptrend, break previous structural lows, and then started putting in lower highs, we could take that as a trade, okay, from a scaling down perspective. From a higher time frame perspective, if you was looking at this as a break of structure, a trend up, and a potential triple top of this level, what you'd have to realize is that the behavior of this market here, Shaz, was bullish, price failing to break, turn bearish, then price breaking structure, turning bullish. So this would not be a key level because what you'd suspect the market to do is make a push to the upside, making a new high, higher low, higher high. And then what you'd expect based on an uptrend is a double bottom, higher high, or a higher low, higher high. So in this instance, this would not be part of the same behavior to the left. This would be fresh behavior. So no, it wouldn't be a triple top. What we'd be looking for then is the market to show this as a sign of potential change in behavior and market structure. Look for the evidence of that, which would be the break of the previous low, then the lower high, and then start the downtrend to look for continuation sells down. So that would not be a triple top in this instance. You're welcome. Okay, so let's take a look at the next pair. And the next pair we're looking at is USD JPY. Whoever's doing this, if you are new or haven't been here so long and you'd like to give this one a go ahead and do it, because it's
How's this rocks?
yeah, who is this?
Zandru.
Andrew, how are you doing, buddy?
Yes. Good and you?
Good, thank you. You got your annotations ready? Fire
good.
Fire away, bro.
Yes, so I can see a clear downtrend because we are making lower lows and lower highs. But we're seeing here that prices coming down and going up and coming down again, respecting this lower level, and we can see weak rejections coming in here. So I'll actually, in the long run, see possibly sideways
not to
moving
cross. You on
markets.
the hour chart.
Oh yeah.
You're on the hour chart.
Yeah, thanks for jumping in, man. Hey, Andrew, you see this, right? Structure is structure, baby. And we didn't even need to be on the 4H time frame. We're still destroying that analysis. Let's get back over to the 4H. Sorry about that.
Awesome. No problem, man.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, so basically seeing a price coming down and coming up and coming down to this level again and seeing weak rejection indicating possible bullish pressure in the market. But I can see prices possibly ranging. So opening on Monday, price can possibly push up again into this level. But I won't consider any bars or sells on Monday because we will be waiting for clearer structure, possibly breaking to the downside, making a new lower low, new lower high, and going to the downside, or possibly making new high highs and new high lows, and going to the upside. That's the only plan I'll go for on Monday.
Sure, makes sense. And that plan that you've made, is that simply because the market is ranging right now?
Yes. I don't see any clear structure now because of the weak projections.
Sure. Can I ask, if you had one chance to take a trade on this chart, you know, someone was holding you ransom and they said you've got to take one chance, or holding something ransom, and you had one chance to take a trade, what direction would you take the trade in? You know, it either has to be buy or sell.
I'll still be sell buys because the movement is down.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Now, obviously, we're kind of contradicting ourselves here, because when there's a range, you are looking for a break either above or below. But the point I'm trying to make here is what we don't want to do, even though we know it's a range, is we don't want to suggest that this is an immediate reversal. What we could suggest is that this strong impulsive move over to the left has just been corrected by this move here. And the overall structure of the market previous to that was doing what? Going down, right?
Yeah.
Usually when there's a strong impulsive move, you get this correction, and this looks like the correction. So if there's an impulsive move up, the correction is down, and then the continuation is down normally. But as you said, we can't overlook the fact that price is failing to break. So I would say the best plan of action is to do what you said. Wait for a clear directional bias. I think even a break of this structure and a retest and then look at that continuation is a tad too early. Just in case we have these breakouts, these retests, and then a lower high put in to continue this downtrend, and then this movement back down to the lows. I would say for buy bias, we would have to wait for just a little bit more confirmation, just so that we can certify that this market has reversed and that this isn't just a correction of the previous behavior. What we want to see is the break, the retest, then price confirming that with one more break, which will then start the uptrend of a low, high, low, high, high, and then look for that retest and then targets somewhere over here, and then eventually to some of these highs, right? Now, thinking about the 4-hour candles, what is the likelihood that this will happen on Monday?
I think it is a possible, but it's not certain.
Well, the reason why I'm asking you to think about the 4H candles is you've got to think 4 break, 4 leave, 4 come back, 4 retest, 4 break, 4 leave, 4 come back. We're looking at 48, 72 hours sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not going to happen on Monday.
No. So I think the best plan with this, instead of keeping our options open for both directions, is to identify the seriousness of this movement to the downside and the fact that we haven't got a true confirmation of this reversal yet, we can mark this as our major structural low. And if we get a break of this low, there's a very high chance that we're going to get back down to some of these structural lows and say to ourselves, let's just say for Monday, until new structure is formed, let's use this as our scaling down opportunity, so that if this trend continues down and we finally get a break close below the structure, what we can then do is continue with the structure, continue with the behavior of this break, okay, scale down or jump onto this. It's not continue with the behavior, actually jump onto this behavior, find the confluence with this trend and say to ourselves, if we get this break close below the structure, we have an opportunity to retest and continue down. And then we have this range we can work with from here to here, which is about 50 pips, which is loads or ample amount of range to be able to take a scaling down opportunity. I think that plan for Monday will stop us waiting or expecting for the breakout of the range to the upside and an immediate reversal. And that will allow us more time and patience to wait for that to be formed maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday. Does this make sense? How does that sound?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think you've done an absolutely epic job, to be honest with you. The wick rejections is a great sign. But I think let's not overlook that this is still really bearish and that we haven't even broken the brick wall yet. We haven't even taken out any highs yet. And yes, it's ranging, but what we don't want to get involved in is a breakout, break back in. We want to see the trend start, because we don't need to be first into the trend. We could be second or third and we can still make a lot of money. Does this work?
Yes.
Yeah. Great job, Andrew. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate
Awesome.
it.
Pleasure.
Chat, how does this sound? Does this make sense?
Okay.
You agree? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. And look, we could be wrong on every single analysis that we've done up until now. But guess what? When you make a plan and you stick to your plan, you can never lose a trade, really, right? Because if you plan to sell and the market goes bullish, you're never going to buy it because your plan was to sell, so you don't lose money. That's the beauty of it, right? And then what you can do is you have the opportunity to come back the next day, reanalyze, and then you will never be first because the move's already happened, but you get more evidence and confirmation while the majority of other traders are jumping into trades that could possibly be fake outs, could be possibly whatever. No one starts talking about manipulation, all that rubbish, but you know what I mean, right? You just jump into the next higher low, double bottom, double top, whatever it is, and you just ride the wave once the wave starts moving. Okay, so that's that. Let's take a look at another one. So for me, somebody has said it presents more strong bullish momentum, but let's see on Monday for a clear confirmation. For sure. Let's see on Monday. So who's coming forward for the next pair, please?
Hey, Rox.
Nelson, what's happening, bro? You okay?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Very good, thank you. If you could start annotating when you're ready.
Sorry, how do I annotate?
If you just go up
Hello?
if you go up to the Zoom at the top, it will say annotate. Wherever your Zoom is.
Yep. Got it. So what I can see from the EJ is that currently it's downtrend. It's going down. It's forming lower high and lower low, lower high and lower low. So currently the market is at a pullback stage. So what I want to see from EJ is that potential break of this level to continue sales, came back and retest, continue sales to maybe to potential these levels. And yeah, I think that's the only plan for EJ right now.
Beautiful. Now let me ask
So
you
currently,
let me ask you a question. We just looked at this pair here, right? USD JPY. If we see the market's been trending down, creating lower lows, lower highs, what currency is stronger out of the two?
Japanese yen is stronger.
Correct. Now, if we take a look at Euro JPY, what currency is stronger?
Euro JPY, Japanese yen.
Right. Now, if euro yen is clearly creating lower lows and lower highs, and we, anticipate that it will continue down with this trend, do you think that adds confluence to our analysis on USD JPY that yen is strong and that the likelihood of this break retest continuation is much higher now that we've seen what's happening with euro yen?
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. And this is what we need to start becoming masters at, identifying these currency strengths through technical analysis, identifying consistent confluence with structures and correlating non-correlating pairs, and then basing our decisions on how we plan to trade them. Because the truth is, if USD JPY was trending down and we saw it was trending down and we came over to Euro JPY and we knew the yen was strong, how much confluence do you think that can add to us taking a sell versus trying to anticipate a key level holding and being a buy? It will add a lot of confluence, right? And once you become really good at doing this, I can promise you your trading will become so much easier, so much more fluent, and so much more consistent. So your plan is absolutely perfect, right? The market structure is clearly moving down. We have a major key level here in the market where price is failing to break below. We're not by bias because the trend is down, and we can see that there's a lower high that's been put in, just not enough time for that lower low to be made. And if price does break that level, there's a very high chance that we're going to get back down to some of these lows before we find any traffic, or potentially even get back down to the major low. So the plan is for Euro JPY for the next 24 hours is to see this momentum shift, the break, the retest, and the continuation. And I think this also applies to higher time frame traders as well. We're not going to really be looking necessarily for a double top of this structure, even though it's completely fine to look for that. What you prefer to see is the gap up, gap down, then the momentum kick in at some point, maybe during London or Frankfurt, see the break below the structure, look for the retest, and then look for a continuation, later on into the day, London, New York crossover, or New York Open, whatever it is. So I think that's a great plan. What does the chat think of that? Yeah, good feedback. Okay, bro. So very clear, concise again. Really appreciate it. Thank you for coming forward. Let's take a look at our next pair, which is going to be...
No problem. Thank you, Rox.
Thank you, brother. We're going to be looking at Euro Pound. So who would like to give this one a go?
I'll go, Rox.
Okay, thank you very much. Glenn, what's happening, bro?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Good,
Fire
man.
away when you're ready with your annotations.
Cool. So I can see that this market was pushing down. We broke this level here. We put in a lower low. We came back up for the double top with some nice rejection. We then pushed down and we have broken this level here. So I'm sell biased, but what I want to see for continued sales is a bit more of a push down, pull back, and a continuation to these targets here.
Absolutely beautiful and absolutely simple. I mean, it's so beautiful to see how structure forms, right? And just what it does every single time, right? Market was trending down. We had the break of the structure. What we expect is a higher low, higher high formation. Price, in fact, didn't even make a new higher high or even get back to this key level. Then we had a level in the market where price was finding, some sort of support, but at the same time was never able to find that bullish sentiment and continue pushing up to get that new higher high. Eventually, we finally obliterated this previous structural low. Price left for a period of time, just as Glenn has mentioned, he's waiting for this to leave for a period of time. It came back to that key level where it previously broke. Multiple wick rejections, especially for higher time frames. This is just beautiful. And then look, the market has continued to push down. We clearly know this is sell bias. It's making lower lows and lower highs. We can clearly identify the pound has been strong across the board all last week. And it only makes sense that moving into next week, our plan would be exactly what Glenn has said. Price is or has broken this key level, but because it'll be Sunday open with gaps and we're going to be looking for the continued sellers to enter the market, we just want to see price leave for a minute, come back, retest this structure as we've seen previously, and then look for our targets down at some of these structural lows. A very simple plan, makes sense because the market in a sell by structure creates lower lows and lower highs. We have the evidence and the confirmation we need already up here. We just need to support that and just wait for the patterns to develop and then jump into the trade. And in my opinion, this is absolutely perfect. So Glenn, phenomenal analysis, bro. Thank you for keeping it simple. And let's see what happens Monday and reanalyze this on Tuesday. Shabam says, I took this pair last week and he smashed 40 pips. Let's go, baby. Well done, Shabam. All right. So nice analysis there. This is very fluent, very clear and concise. And I'm truly, truly enjoying this. Let's take a look at the next pair, which is USD CAD. Who will be doing this for us, please?
Hey, what's can I try?
Let's go, my bro. Annotate when you're ready, please. I've got you down D.G, yeah?
So the first thing I can see here is like a nice downtrend situation here. And we can see here that's like some sort of a previous low and then the previous high. And then from here, we can see it's going uptrend and then, sorry, it's going down and then ranging and then down. So I would say here would be the major key level. And here would be another one. So you can, so I can basically see it's like it's still ranging and basically we need to still wait for the breakout. Yeah. Hello.
So let me just highlight something here, right? Really good analysis.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You identified that here we're in a downtrend because of this structural lower high formation, right?
Yeah.
Now,
yes.
a downtrend and taking a downtrend like this is only important when trading higher time frames. You're looking for, positional trades or looking to hold your trades for long periods of time so you can take advantage of this structure. But if you're trading the 4H time frame or you're using scaling down methods, can I just ask you, instead of focusing on this as being a downtrend and just keeping it really, 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 really simple, what is the current structure telling us and the behavior telling us right now? And then what would your plan be?
Okay, so from this side, I can actually see that it went here in this, here in this particular area. It seems that the price came down and then it went up and then it somewhat failed. So basically, it could be a sign that it might be changing the direction of this uptrend. Trend, so it might probably go uptrend. Any thoughts about that? Like okay. It's at the moment still ranging, so it probably will go up.
Okay, so it probably will go up because you want it to go up, or because it's telling you that it's more likely to go up than it's to go down.
I think it's more likely to. It's telling me that it will go up because here we can see that it failed to really push down, and now instead of pushing down, we can see there's a low bearish pressure on the structure, and here it shows that strong or bullish. Also the wicks here, here, and here.
Yeah. Okay. So what if I said that it's failing to break above also, and there's also very strong wicks here, strong candles here, here, and here? How would you come back with what I just said?
Yeah, that's a bit tricky.
Yeah. So look, this is how we do this, right? I think you've done very well, but I think you're taking in a lot more information than you really need. Okay. First, you want your two key levels, which is your structural high and you want your structural low. Something like this works. Okay.
Okay.
We're meeting as many wicks as we can here. Forget this to the left anyway, but just focus here. Now, if I draw that and then I was to put a box over everything to the left, okay, I was to put a box over to everything to the left, and let's do this. And I said, is this market trending down or is this market trending up? And what would your plans be? What would your answer be now?
Okay, I see. In this case, I would now probably wait for the breakout and then plan out my structure, my trading structure. Because right now I can see it's ranging, so it will either break and then retest, break and retest. So I'll just wait for the breakout.
Good. So you see how we can really narrow this down and really get a good, clear directional bias and really help us to find those, high probability trades by avoiding the distraction to the left and focusing on current price action and keeping it really simple, right? Yes, we know it's trending down. Yes, we know it's been trending down. Yes, we know it's been pushing up. Yes, we know there's wicks here, wicks there, and everything else. But if we understand what's happening right now, we understand that overall it's ranging. So what we're waiting for the market to do is give us a clear directional bias to let us know where it potentially is going. And then what we do at that stage is we find supporting evidence and confirmation to then look for trades in that direction, meaning that if it breaks above, we'd be looking for supporting evidence as to why we'll buy, which means an uptrend, double bottoms, higher lows. Or if it breaks the lows, we'll be looking for supporting evidence as to why we should sell, i.e. double tops, lower highs, etc., etc. Okay, so now I think the easiest plan, at least for Monday, is just to wait for this range to be broken, try to understand if the dollar is strong, the CAD is strong, what potential direction the market is going, and try and figure out what targets we can reach once that happens. So for now, don't worry about the downtrend, don't worry about the wicks to the bottom, don't worry about the candles, just understand it is ranging, it's not breaking lows, it's not breaking highs, and we are just looking for true confirmation. The next thing that you will look at is once price breaks a high, in this instance, is do you have or will you have enough range to take a buy back to the highs, depending on the breakout? And secondly, if it breaks to the low, do you have enough range? Looking at this, it looks like that if it breaks to the upside, there's not as much of a range as there is if it breaks to the downside. So the next question will be, once it breaks this high, would you prefer to look for the retest now, or would you wait for true confirmation of what's happening in the market and wait for this break and look for that retest? This is how you plan. This is how you do a process of elimination to figure out whether the trade quality is good or not, and whether you're planning to, enter the markets at the earliest signs, or you're better, or you prefer to wait for some more true confirmation. Does this make sense?
Yes, I think I would just wait for the wait for it to break the major key level of that this particular thing.
Yes.
Key level. I would rather wait for it, because it could also be that it might be going up and then suddenly it makes changes to go in the other direction.
Absolutely.
So in this case, I would rather wait for the breakout and then retest.
Absolutely. I think that's perfect.
Enter my trade here and then make a
perfect
long buy. Thank you.
Does everybody agree with our brother there? What do you think of his analysis? Yeah, I agree with him as well. Good job, man. Good job. And hopefully,
that's right.
You're welcome, bro. Hopefully one or two of you here on the session will be able to take away a little lesson from that it's not so important to be taking into consideration all this structure to the left and this distraction. A lot of what we do as day traders happens in the here and now. So if you learn to master the here and now, I can promise you, you're more likely to be on the right side of momentum than not if you start to practice this and get it down to a T. Even if it's down to a T, you still can lose 70% of your trades, but you only need to be 30% profitable to make money with a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio, okay? So anything better than that, you're laughing. So don't try for perfection, but at least try to get the process right every single time. You'll be less disappointed when you lose a trade. You'll be able to deal with losing trades more often, and you'll also be able to trust the process more and really rely on the numbers, okay? And that's what it's about in trading. So thank you very much, brother. Who's coming forward next, please, for our next pair, which will be Aussie dollar USD?
It works.
Let's take a look. Is it Amichin?
Yeah, that's me.
What's happening, bro? You okay? Thanks for coming forward, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, man.
When you're ready to annotate, go ahead.
Yeah, let me put up the annotation. Yeah, I'm just ready now. All right, so what I can see right now is just we have a break of structure over here. We can see that price push down back again to major key level. So really couldn't push up again. So we can just really kind of see that little consolidation, but that's really nothing. Push back down. down to level again, came back up. So that's the third time. So we can see that really price is trying now to range at a certain level, then push back down and then push back up. So at this level, I'd rather say that I'm really looking for a sell. But because it's been just kind of struggling so much in that level, I really want to just see price leaving that price and that's that section and then going back down. And then from there, just kind of looking for a sell. Now I got a key level at this level. Yeah, sorry, I just counted it twice. I just a key level here so that I'm going to look for. But at this moment, it's going to be forming also a massive range on this level.
Very nice analysis. So if you were looking for your 10 pairs in the morning, let's say you was looking at 10 pairs in the morning, would you be shortlisting this or would you just be waiting for a true directional bias?
I'll be looking for a true directional bias. I would not even look at that.
Correct. And I don't think I'd look at it either, to be honest with you. And it's an interesting question that I asked there because we are going through 10 pairs that we're not really going to substitute out, but we're doing it obviously because, you know, they really help us with a lot of the other pairs as well, being some of the majors and having the, you know, cross currencies that are the strongest in the currency pairs, meaning euro, dollar, pound, etc., etc. But if we were to look at this in the morning, we'd probably say to ourselves, nah, we'll let this one go, right? I think so as well. But I think your plan on this is absolutely perfect, right? The market is in a big fat range. It's struggling to break structural highs. It's also struggling to break structural lows. And on the attempt to break the structural low, indicating this bearish sentiment here, what happened? It just broke back in, meaning that the bears were not ready to take control of this market. So I would say personally, we have a level here in the market we do need to be careful of, right? Just in case we have a breakout and price, you know, doesn't decide to break that. We have a stop loss that exceeds the range, especially from a high time frame perspective of this range. We won't really want to be entering here. So for true confirmation of this potential, well, it's not even a potential reversal, but to see selling, I think would need to, at least at some point this week, break this structural retest and then look for the continuation down to some of these lows where our range is increased, and vice versa. I mean, if this continues up and we start to see Aussie dollar strength, then we're just going to need to see price break this structure and then look for those retest continuations to start the uptrend. Right now, it just seems like it's a bit far-fetched and it's too rangy. You know, there hasn't been any signs of true dollar strength here or Aussie dollar strength. And we'd probably need something really dramatic or drastic to happen in order to change this bias. So I think to be safe than sorry, we'll just wait patiently for this, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. And if nothing happens, then we just won't shortlist it. We'll just leave it on the side. And that's it, really. Focus on some other pairs that are moving. So your analysis was absolutely amazing. Amitin, I really appreciate it, brother. And yeah, let's see what happens. We will reanalyze this on Tuesday. Just ask the chat if they agree with this, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. What do you think, chat? Do you agree with this? Yeah, I think that's the plan. Okay, bro. Thank you so much. Who is coming forward to analyze pound JPY for us, please? I know somebody said they want.
Hello, Rox.
Brian, what's happening, bro?
All right, so let me annotate this. So from what I can see in the price right now, price is sitting in a range.
Can anybody else hear Brian, or is it just me that's gone?
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to figure out the annotate too.
Oh, okay, no problem.
All right, we can see that price is sitting in the big fat range. So what we want to see right here is a clean break to the downside and then catching a retest before taking a sell to the downside. Or we can wait for a break to the upside, potentially looking for a higher low and then taking a buy. But based on what we have seen on GU, which is a sell bias, we might want to wait for the price to come down and instead look for the sells instead.
Okay, I'm really glad you brought another currency up. So simple theory is this, based on, you know, past history, when there's a range, what we're looking for is a break of that range and a continuation. Normally, the longer price sits in a range, the stronger the breakout, right? But can I just ask, what have we identified with the pound this week? Has it been strong or weak?
Weak.
The pound, has it been strong or weak? Brian?
Based on last week, it was quite strong.
Correct. Based on last week, was the yen strong or weak?
Weak, but I would like to say that the yen was around the same strength as the pound.
Correct. Well done, bro. Well done. That's what I was looking for. Now, usually when you bring two strong currency pairs together or two weak currency pairs together, what does the market do?
Range.
Correct. So in order to trade pound JPY, we're going to need to see a shift in balance here, right? We're going to need to either see the pound weaken, the yen weaken, or the pound get really strong, or the yen get really strong. At this moment in time, there's no evidence of this happening, okay? So I think, in theory, unless something happens drastic next week, maybe, more news about the vaccination, some real solid concrete, evidence as to why something will happen or something happens in the world. I'm not a fundamental guy, so my terminology is not on point, but I'm sure you will understand the simplicity of what I'm trying to say. Unless something drastic happens, we can suspect that, guess what? GJ may continue ranging. So the question is, until something does happen, what would happen with GJ? Well, more than likely, we're not going to shortlist it until something does happen, okay? So I think the plan with this is to continue to monitor next week what happens with the pound, what happens with the yen, and if we do get solid evidence or able to gather enough evidence to support why the pound is stronger or the yen is stronger or one is weaker for whatever reason, then all we're going to be waiting for is for price to break, retest, continue up, price to break, retest, continue down, of course, because it's a range, but we'll need to gather supporting evidence as to why it would continue up. That would mean pound is getting stronger, weak is getting weaker or whatever else, okay? Does everybody understand this point? I just felt like I rambled on there, but I know it makes sense, but does that make sense to you? And does that make sense to everybody else? Okay, thank you, chat. Thank you. Okay, brother. So I think your analysis is absolutely perfect. Let's just understand some of the key points that we've just mentioned there, because it's very important to know when you bring two strong currencies together, you'll find that it starts to range. So unless something drastic happens, we have to just be very careful, even to look for a break and retest, just in case we're caught out in some sort of fake outs or breakouts and break back ins. Okay, so that's the analysis on GJ. Who's going to come along and analyze New Zealand dollar USD for us, please?
Hi, Rox.
Dylan, what's happening, bro?
I'm good, bro.
Very
Thanks for
good.
asking.
Thank you for coming forward. When you're ready, you can just annotate.
How do you annotate?
Just go to wherever the zoom is and just hover over it, and then you'll see annotate.
I'm not seeing anything on the screen.
It'll be a little pen. You have to go. It won't just be directly on your screen. You'll need to go to zoom and find wherever that zoom is to leave, end, or press view options, and then it will say annotate, something like that.
All right. I'm not finding it so fast, so maybe you can let somebody else go forward.
Okay, and you take a look for it, and then you do the last pair for us, okay, Dylan? Who's coming forward next, please? Hold on,
I can try.
Yeah, Tony, what's happening, man?
Hey, man, how are you?
Very good, brother. Thank you. When you're ready,
Awesome.
Fire away.
All right. I'm brand new, so you just could bear with me.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, cool. So I see that we're moving into a key level here at the top, and we rejected. We have a couple of wicks there. We have that doji, and then a big candle. That 4-hour candle.
Can you annotate?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, cool. So here's our key level. We have some nice wick rejection here. We can see we closed below this previous structure. Well, I think the way I did it's a little, you can't quite tell, but we've closed below that level. So pretty much what we want to see is price clearly move away from the structure here to put in a lower low and then a lower high to then, if that does happen, then that would confirm bearish pressure in the market.
Okay, so I think your perspective on this is an open market and identifying this momentum shift already, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you really obviously you've been, you know, seeing what's happening. You've been obviously doing your bit of studying, and you're starting to recognize really early signs of scaling down opportunities. But I want you to tell me the bigger picture, please.
We're bullish. So we have bullish pressure here. As you can see, we've been running, pushing. This is a double top, yep. But we don't have any signs of exhaustion. This could be the first sign of exhaustion.
Correct.
So I think what we just need to see is what the next step is. Like, are we going to actually create another lower high, or are we going to hold this level? You know, what's going to really happen? Because Friday, I mean, the candle closed big, and you know, we won't really know what's going to happen until Monday or Tuesday. And then at that point, you know, with all this bullish pressure here, I mean, maybe we'll experience a further exhaustion, and then we'll look for another level that's going to hold. We have these wicks right over here. Maybe that'll hold, and see what happens if we if the bulls kick back in.
Sure. Sounds like a plan. Let's take one new member to analyze this on top of yours and see what their thoughts are on this, okay? And then I'll give you my thoughts on this one. So, Tony, bear with us, okay?
Oops, how do I erase all this? Oh,
now, is it Elias or
Cool.
Elias?
Sure.
Am I on?
Yeah. How do we pronounce the name, bro?
In Swedish, it's Elias, but you don't have to do that.
Yeah, Elias.
Elias, yeah, Elias.
Elias. Okay, brother. Go ahead. Annotate for us, man. Let's see your
All
thoughts.
right. Let's see. Well, first of all, it's a bullish market, so we'll be looking for buys. Like this. And basically what we want to look at is whether this right here breaks out and perhaps continues like this. This is what I would probably go for.
Okay, and I like your analysis. And we've got two different perspectives here. We have Tony, who had the scaling down perspective, looking for that momentum shift and continuation down to create this exhaustion that may, on the higher time, create a higher low to continue up. So he's looking for that that scaling down opportunity. You're looking at this from a higher time frame perspective, which is trending up, making higher highs and higher lows. So you're looking for the break above the retesting and continuation. I would agree with both of you. I think you both done pretty good with your analysis here. And now I want to give you my analysis here. Okay. First things first, just to keep things very simple, you want to mark your major structural low, your major structural high. Okay. Well, actually, the first thing you want to do is identify the overall structure of the market, which is up. Then you want to identify your major structural high and your major structural low. Once you do that, you want to then determine the behavior of the market, which is what? Simply ranging, moving sideways, not breaking the highs and not breaking the lows. Then you have to say to yourself, has this market shown you signs of it being sell bias or reversing? Well, not yet, which means you can't be sell bias yet until something happens. Sell bias is price creating a new low, as Tony said, a new lower high, and then looking for a continuation back down to this lows. But you can't discount the fact that we're sitting in a range. So do you want to sell within that range? Well, that's a personal question, and it's down to what you do. From a higher time frame perspective, in order to sell, you really want the lows to be taken out, then looking for price to retest structure, and then look for that continuation. But if this market is bullish and trending up, then the simple plan is this: wait for that continued bullish sentiment, that retest, and then that continuation. Now, the reason why we don't want to sell here from a higher time frame perspective, Tony, is simply because even though this looks like a double top, this also looks like a double top or a triple bottom, right? A triple top, where price on 3 occasions failed to break above. On this occasion, only 2 occasions broke above. We had sell signs here because it was a triple top, but look, the market continued to respect previous structural lows, continue the uptrend, make a retest that structure, and continue higher. So we don't want to sell here from a higher time frame perspective, just in case the market comes back down here or makes a new higher low before continuing up. That's why the plan would be to wait for the market to break that structural low, as we just mentioned, to show true signs of a reversal and a trend change and look for the retest. Or if you're using a scaling down method, look for the lower height to only trade within the range, or to be safe rather than sorry, focus on the overall trend, which is up, recognize this is a range and avoid it, and just trade the trend up, which is a higher high, higher low, wait for the break, retest, and a continuation. Does this make sense, Tony? Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the safest trade, if you had to take a trade, if you're gonna, I guess, do the higher time frame perspective, it'd be just wait for the break above retest, because obviously it's overall
1000%.
bullish.
1000%. Because once price breaks this high, starts closing above, what would price then start to create? If it's a trend up, making higher highs and higher lows, it would start to make a new what?
A new high.
Correct. Now it doesn't need to, but if we see that the market is trending up from this point and price is respecting previous structure, and then eventually it starts to take out new highs or new structural highs, or however you see this, eventually what do we expect the market to do? We expect the market to make a new higher high eventually, right? It doesn't need to, and we don't know that it will at that time, but just simple theory, if you're trending up and price makes a higher low and is in an uptrend, then in theory it should make a new higher high, right? And that's all you're trading based on. There's no certainty in this business. It is just based on theory. Previous price action telling us that if it trends down, eventually it will make a new lower low. If it's trending down, and if it's trending up, it will make a new higher high. Now you could start looking for higher lows, but that takes a lot more skill and craft to scale down to look for those entries and signs. So from a high time frame perspective, we just keep it really simple, and we just wait for price to take out the highs and then look for the retest. Now, if the market was at this stage, let's say the market was at this stage and this was a new high, what we could then do, our plan at this stage would be for what? Well, to see price retest previous structure or retest the previous structural low and then go up, because we know based on past history, we trade based on break and retest, or we trade based on patterns, which is a double bottom or triple bottom if you trade them. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Yep, that's all we're trading on. Just pure theory that the markets will do this because in the past it's done it before. So I think there's great analysis from both of you. I like both of your perspectives, and I've just given you both of my thoughts on how I would see the market. So none are wrong. However you plan to trade it's down to you, but I just think safe rather than sorry. Follow the overall trend up, wait for the break retest, and then that continuation.
Quick question, if it's okay, just really fast.
Yes.
Because I was watching your momentum videos. Like my view on it was, I was kind of basing it on what I saw there. Was that incorrect, or was that aligned with the momentum concept? Like,
no, it is in line. It is in line with the momentum concept.
Really short-term trade with the momentum.
No, it isn't. It is in line with the momentum concept.
That's all. Cool.
As I mentioned, that's very advanced, and obviously that takes a lot more skill to be able to do. Identifying the evidence and confirmation, the wick rejections, behavior, and patterns. Right now, we're just keeping the analysis super simple to get our heads and minds into gear for tomorrow, and just trying to get a bigger picture so that we have a foundation to work with next week.
All right, thank you. It's a privilege talking to you guys and in front of you guys. So
thank you, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you. All right, so for the last analysis, we're going to look at Euro New Zealand dollar. Who would come forward to do the final analysis for us, please? We only need one more person.
Rox, I'm back.
Dylan, go ahead, bro, for the final one. Thank you, man. If you can annotate when you're ready.
Do I have to enter regress remote control?
No, just around those options there. Are you on your phone?
No, I'm on my laptop.
Okay. The annotation button should be around where you see request remote control. It should be a pen. And then it should say annotate.
I don't see nothing, bro.
Okay, never mind. So if you can start analyzing the markets from this point, please, and all the way till here. We'll do a little bit of pattern process right now. So, and I'll annotate as you're talking, please.
Okay. What I'm seeing is we're sitting in a downtrend, making low highs and all the way to back down to the key level. Then price came back up to the previous lower high. Yes. From that level, it respected and continues to push down. making a new low high. And then continues to push down. Not perfect break and retest, but it comes back to the level where you can look for sells, make a double top, push back down, would be a great sell opportunity. And now we're sitting at a level in a push phase, and at the key of the level, come back for a retest or looking for scale down opportunities, and that will be my plan for next week.
So are you sell bias or buy bias?
At this stage, I'm still sell bias.
Okay. Your plan is to see a break of the structure, a retest, and a continuation?
Yes.
Are you looking for price to come back to this key level at all for a retest and continuation, or would you prefer the break of the structure at the low?
I would prefer the break, but if it comes back, I will look for bearish momentum. Then,
Scaling,
but I would prefer
scaling
to break
down,
and then retest.
Scaling down opportunities.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful, Dylan. I mean, that was just art right there. That was just art.
Thanks, brother.
It was just art, man. And yeah, that's all I can say. Who agrees with Dylan? It was worth him not annotating because that was just beautiful.
I'm also a newbie. I'm not as I'm just a month in the course, and I would like to come forward and annotate, but I don't know how it works. So
no worries. We'll get it sorted for next time. But for somebody that's new to the community to be able to analyze the markets like that and understand its behavior obviously shows, your experience or, your dedication to your studies, man. So I know there's going to be great things coming from you, and I look forward to hearing more and seeing more from you, bro. So keep it up. Well done.
Thank you very much, bro.
Okay, so we've done the 10 analysis this week. I just want to say thank you to all the members that have come forward. I mean, that was just, to me, it was just poetry. It was beautiful to see your analysis, your thought process, the consistency in the analysis. And I think, wow, I'm really, really excited going into next week. So we'll end the reviews here, and then I'll take your questions.